everyone. I'm calling the meeting to order. This is the February 7th, 2024 special meeting of the Parks, Rec, and Ed Commission. We'll do a roll call of the commissioners, starting with
Anita McQuillan.
Stephanie Williams.
I'm Dr. Julie Elginer.
Richard Sherman.
And Erica Green.
Do we have a volunteer for our Pledge of Allegiance? Wonderful, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Commissioner McQuillan. Is there a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, our agenda is approved, and our minutes from December 12th, 2023.
I'll also move to approve the minutes.
So two of us move in second and two of us were not there, so I think that means they're approved. Do we have any public comment? Any cards?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to let each commissioner, if they have any announcements for the good of the order.
I was just going to make an announcement around encouraging the public to obey by all signage for the parks and recreation, particularly any access to trailheads, anything that is posted. I know that it is difficult. Our kids want to play. We want to get into the parks, all of those other kinds of things. But if the city or if there's any public signage that specifically states not to access the facilities, please do not access those facilities until it has either been safe or it's been deemed that participating on those trailheads or on those trails would not damage the trails. And as someone that is an avid user of trails, I can tell you that being on them or being on facilities before they are open causes more havoc down the line than what it's worth. So please, I encourage everyone to just obey the signage, specifically over the next couple of months, because this will not be our last rain also. Thank you.
And I want to welcome our new member, Dr. Richard Sherman. We're delighted that you are here.
Thank you very much. I know I'm replacing Charlotte Meyer, who retired after 8 years, and I know how dedicated she was. So I have my work cut out for me just to try to do half as good a job as she did. So thank you.
Yeah, you do. You have very big shoes to fill, and we will miss Charlotte. We thank her so much for her many wonderful years of service, but we're delighted that you're here. Okay, I think the first order of business is kicking me out.
Or renominating you.
Oh, I don't think that's allowed.
That it is. I've read through the bylaws or the specifics, and it is because you have not served for 2 years in that capacity. So I would like to nominate Stephanie Williams to serve as her second year as chair of the Parks and Rec Commission.
I'd like to second the nomination. The draft nomination.
Thank you all. I actually did not see that coming and was prepared to nominate Vice Chair Elginer, so I will nominate her to be Vice Chair again.
I second that.
So I guess we have a motion for, do we need to do them separately?
Yes.
Okay, so approval of repeat chair, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And approval of repeat vice chair, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you so much. We will continue this way. So our next agenda item is committee reports.
Reappointment of the student commission.
Thank you. Sorry. That was my, okay, so I would also like to move to reappoint Davis Weissner, our lovely student representative. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Davis will be back with us as soon as he can be. His school schedule does not allow attendance at every meeting, but he's a wonderful asset to our commission. And now the Arts Council.
Megan isn't here with us this evening, so we don't have a report for the Arts Council.
Okay, Commissioner Sherman?
Okay. First, it was very nice. I had two positive meetings, one with Kimberly at the Senior Center and recently with our director, Erica Green. So that I felt good to kind of get some orientation. And I'm looking, even though I've been to many of the parks and installations, I'm looking forward to a tour with a different perspective. And just as an aside, as a swimmer who usually goes to the Tennis and Swim Center to swim in the winter, I'm excited that it's going to be a new, people won't fall when they're walking around, so it'd be nice. I was at my first Senior Center Advisory Board meeting a couple weeks ago, and there are a couple recurrent themes. Some of the advisory board members are concerned that the name Calabasas Senior Center may prevent some people who are younger, in that 50 plus, from attending, and also keeping an eye out towards rentals. Nobody wants to have maybe their 16-year-old daughter or 13-year-old child have an event at a senior center. I mean, that's some of the discussion. So, unless there's a great name, and they're struggling, some of the members, to find a great name, I think it's going to stay the senior center. But maybe eventually, and maybe people who are watching tonight may come up with a name, and they can send it directly to Erica. And I also think that eventually, if we want to get 50 plus, that 50 to 60, 65-year-old group, we'll probably have to have some special programming just for them, because there may be an overlap. And then the last thing I wanted to say is, and you know, it's nice with the Calabasas Community Center opening in the next month or so, that some of the events at the Senior Center, for example, next week there's a Valentine's Day, which is fully subscribed, and a waiting list because there's only so much room. So there's going to be an event in April, I'm not sure the exact date, like a sock hop, which is going to be a senior event at the new community center, so it'll allow for more participation, more involvement, and I think that's what we want. So so there's a lot of tie-ins with some of the new things that Erica and her team are working on. So that's my report.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Sherman.
You're welcome.
Richard, may I ask you just a couple of quick questions?
Sure.
As a follow-up? So one is, and I don't know if this has been pursued, but I'm just curious in the naming. Has the idea ever been floated to try to secure any kind of external sponsorship for the name?
I think that would be a policy change at the city, because some places have the so-and-so Memorial Center, and to my knowledge, it wouldn't be something that we could, within the Seniors Advisory Board. It would have to be something that I'm sure would have to go to City Council.
I'm sure. It was just more has that been explored?
It has been mentioned
Okay.
by some people. Some residents have brought it to my. In fact, one of the residents had asked me about the community center, as you know. And just as a quick aside, because maybe people who are watching this don't know, some of these big events that are at the senior center, we have a wonderful volunteer who works part-time, Rick Young, and he actually goes out to get sponsorships. And we're not talking about like $20 or $30. We're talking about thousands of dollars. So it's not the big sponsorship of a name
Yeah.
on a building, but it allows some wonderful
To offset
events.
costs and stuff.
Yes.
Great, okay. And the second recommendation that I was going to offer in terms of programming for that 50 to 65 or 60 plus is perhaps like a paint night or a series of recurring paint nights. There's been something that's, and maybe do it in conjunction with like food trucks or something at Topanga Social, which is at the new
Right.
mall, right? They have been doing that since, I think it was Thanksgiving, or maybe it was January. They do it every week, and it's been sold out. So there clearly is demand, and they've done it in conjunction with having some food trucks. And when the weather gets nicer, you probably can do it outside also. So I wanted to just offer that as a suggestion.
Yeah, I don't think, and Erica may correct me, I don't think there's really been a push for specific programming for that group. It's really just people, and especially like, the Valentine's Day event is at 2 in the afternoon. Most people who are 60 to 65 or even 70 are still working. But if it was some, paint night or something at 7 o'clock at night, it would require staff, but if we got sponsorships and they have to pay. So
Yeah.
I think that's something that I know Erica and Kim will work on and we talk about it. But they're great ideas. Thank you.
And this is slightly off topic, but I was delighted to see the Valentine's Paint Night at De Anza Park, and I understand that filled really quickly. Yeah, I mean, that's a wonderful program for us to be doing. I look forward to hearing how it went. But very nicely priced, very fun thing on the 13th. Okay, so our student was not able to be here tonight, so we don't have a student report, which leads me to Director Green.
Thank you. So the director's report, I'm going to start off with the Calabasas Community Center update. I'm sure you're all aware that it's opening Saturday, March 16th. It will open at 8 a.m. We will have a ribbon cutting with council at noon. On Thursday, March 14th, the Thursday before that, we will have an invitation for the commissioners and other dignitaries to enjoy an evening from 6 to 9 p.m. You'll get an invitation for that. We're doing something a little different where we're going to ask you to wear athletic wear, leisure wear. It won't be your normal grand opening ceremony. We'll just leave it at that. So on Saturday, that 16th, we're going to have food trucks. We will have a DJ. We'll have demos of classes. We'll put out a schedule so everyone could see that, the public could look at that, but it's going to be a really fun day, so we're excited to get that going and open the community center. Park projects updates. Wild Walnut Park, we just got word today we're going to start construction on Monday. The rain put us back a little bit. So did lead times for the play equipment and the restroom building. So to avoid closures, unnecessary closures, we kind of just delayed that a little bit. So construction February 12th, we're looking to have that done in summertime. We can't really predict what date that'll be, maybe July or August. So we're excited for that to get going. Gates Canyon Park, Brandon's Village, we're going to start demo of the current playground at the end of March and start construction of the new playground in April. We're looking again for that to be done at the end of summer. Tennis and Swim Center, we have the pool rehabilitation project going on, and obviously with the rains, that's delayed us a little bit. We can't concrete the deck when it's a muddy mess out there. So we're looking to have that done sometime in March at this point, barring that the weather holds up for us. Freedom Park, the playground equipment is supposed to be in this week or next week, and so we will get that project going with new pour-in-place surfacing, a new playground equipment, and that should take us 3 to 4 weeks to complete that. The ADA ramp we will bring back to council at a later date. We have to put that out to bid. De Anza Park, we are upgrading the sport court, so we did the dasher boards, which are the roller hockey. Yes, they look fabulous. I know. We need to resurface that court, but we need better weather. So to resurface a court, we need weather that's a little warmer for extended period of time. So we're waiting for that. And in addition, when we took off the older fencing and older dasher boards, it left some rebar and some tension rods and some nails that are exposed, so we have to do a little concrete border on that. So staff's working on that. We should be looking at March, April, where that's going to open. And that is the end of my report. If any commissioners have any questions, please let me know.
I have no questions. I just want to reiterate, number one, appreciation, and number two, recognition of having so many initiatives ongoing simultaneously is remarkable, and enormous kudos to you and your team for managing all of these projects simultaneously, because it's been long overdue, as we can all agree, which is why there's so much work that's ongoing. So thank you for the update and for all of the efforts.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think Vice Chair Elginer speaks for us all when it's way more than juggling when it's this many things all at once, but it's delightful to get a report that the things are going to be done in a month. And I know they're not all going to be done in a month, to be clear.
Right.
But the progress is really fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if I could reiterate an appreciation of the hard work that you guys have done and how you've collaborated and worked together. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I echo what everyone has said. May I ask the question, with the Calabasas Community Center, what happened to the Joint Power Authority? Is that still in business, or how's that working?
Yes, it's still a functioning authority. So the city of Calabasas leases Agora Hills portion of the facility. So we are under full operation of the facility. The Joint Powers Authority has to remain intact until something drastic happens to make that not happen. Right now it's intact. We still go through the Joint Powers Authority, but they will not be the operating entity. It will be the city of Calabasas.
Okay, so that was an incredibly fast agenda. Do we have future agenda item requests? Okay, I'm going to go back to my sort of standing request about how's it going with girls' sports, especially for our tweens. I'd love to hear an update on volleyball is very popular. Girls' basketball, I understand, wasn't as popular as we hoped it would be, but we definitely have an underserved tween population, and especially our girls.
Noted. And we have a beautiful new volleyball court at the community center and volleyball equipment, so we will definitely be looking at that and see how we can implement something for that age group.
I know that USYVL was very interested during the pandemic. They ran programs there before, as you probably know, and they have a really deep ties to Calabasas, so it might be nice to at least check in with them and see. And they're co-ed, which is also lovely for the boys like mine that wanted volleyball and to play on an all-girls team. But I think it especially does serve our young women.
And
Thank
today is National Women and Girls in Sports Day, just in case you needed to know that. True story.
Thank you. I did not know that because
But piggybacking on what has been said, I know that, that, and I think it's been mentioned other times about programming for the teenagers, boys and girls, I guess 14 to 16. And I don't know what's happened. I know there's so many things going on.
So we really dove into that with the consultant, and unfortunately that group didn't rank high for programming, but that's not to be said we're not going to do anything. So really I think where our focus is going to be is doing more either teen sports like this or teen events. The teen programs don't really fly so well, but events they want to come to, so we're going to focus on that with our special events team and see if we can get participation that way and then go from there. So that's been our focus.
I mean, it's possible, like with the Mayor's Youth Council,
Absolutely.
to get them to bring their friends to an event.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Any other future agenda items? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
That concludes our meeting. Thank you, everyone.